Hey, we're in Fresno right now, and I'm with Josh at Life Report.
Yeah.
Life Report.
We're in the Life Report studio.
Life Report studio. And we met Josh at New Dawning's banquet a couple of months ago. He was the keynote speaker. And Josh, for a minute, because I do have a question when I ask you, because we on a previous Chaplain Chat, you had an epiphany with me. But share with us a little bit about
Right to Life of Central California. Our website is righttolifeca.org, and I'll just tell you what our mission statement is, which is a bit of a mouthful, but we say we are all about engage, equip, embrace. We want to engage the community by presenting the pro-life position with clarity and compassion. We want to equip advocates to defend the sanctity of human life through effective tools and training. And we want to embrace individuals that are facing an unplanned pregnancy and those that are hurting from a past abortion.
Yeah, and I'm going to put this on here, but if they want to connect more with your YouTube site and all that stuff, share with us again.
Just go to prolifepodcast.net, which has all of the YouTube and all the iTunes.
You're a big dude on
stuff.
Your YouTube.
That's totally relative.
All right, that's okay.
The big dudes get 100 million views, and I haven't quite got there.
Okay, we're good.
And you can follow my blog at joshbraum.com. If you want to learn more about relational apologetics and the best pro-life arguments, joshbraum.com would be the place to go.
Josh, at our last Chaplain Chat, I shared something, and you instantly interrupted me. You said you were no.
I just offered a clarification.
No, it was very good. You mentioned something about diplomacy
versus
D-Day.
Yeah.
What did you? That is so good. But talk about diplomacy versus D-Day.
I've learned a lot from smarter people than me, and mentors like Steve Wagner at Justice for All, who used to work at Stand to Reason, which is one of my favorite Christian apologetics ministries. Their website is str.org. So they've talked a lot about what it means to be an ambassador for Christ. When 2 Corinthians 5:20 says, "Therefore you are an ambassador for Christ, as though God were speaking through you, therefore on behalf of Christ we reconciled to God." It's like, what does that even mean practically for people? What is an ambassador for Christ? And we think like they're diplomats, they're representatives. But that's what we are for Christ. So that should mean something when we go out. Like, we're not just Christians. We are going out and we're evangelists. We're representatives of who God is. And so that should change the way that we talk to people. So sometimes...
But we tend to go out like D-Day.
Yeah, we tend to go...
Which is what I... Yeah, anyway.
And we're all in this... me too, by the way. It's not, 4 fingers pointing back at me. I've definitely made many, many mistakes talking to people that I learned from. And sometimes that's how I come up with blog fodders. Here's something dumb I did, and don't do this, right? So I've just learned a lot about just basically what Stand to Reason believes you need to have to be a good ambassador for Christ is knowledge, wisdom, and character. Knowledge and accurately informed mind. You got to know what God thinks about important issues if you're going to represent Him. Wisdom would be an artful method. We talk about. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. And then character and attractive manner, which is humility. And just under wisdom, we talk about the art of...
I should be taking notes on this. This is good.
Luckily, we're recording it.
All right, okay. I'll
watch
listen to
it 4 times.
All right.
We talk about asking good questions and listening to understand and finding genuine common ground when possible. And listening is the thing I think people are worst at. When people...
I'm sorry, what did you say? No,
yeah, I know, right?
All right.
I got it.
Okay.
No, I think people... I love the quote from Pulp Fiction where the female character asks John Travolta. She says, when you're in conversation, do you listen or do you just wait to talk? Because I think most people just wait to talk. It's like they're talking, and I'm having this inner monologue of, what am I going to say next? Yeah. That's not listening. And I found that out because I'm married. I've been married for 7 years, and I tried that, and that doesn't work. When your wife's talking, I just got to be present in the moment with the person.
Do I ever do that? Anyway.
She's shaking her head. No, of course, you're an amazing husband. But young bucks like me are still learning these things.
You'll learn.
And so I've just learned that to love my wife properly and to love the person I'm talking to properly, I've just got to be present in the moment with them.
Wow.
I got to try to, and this is hard, I haven't quite mastered this yet, but trying to silence that inner monologue so that when they're talking, I'm just trying to enter their world. and listen to them. And then, yeah, it means after they're done, I'm going to have to take a few beats before I say something. And some people think that's an awkward pause. I'm like, no, that's good. It shows that you're taking them seriously. And I'm just kind of processing the things that they just said and trying to relate to them in a relational way if they maybe said something that's emotionally powerful that I don't want to just like be Mr. Logic philosophy guy back. Sometimes we can have those relational moments and finding some genuine common ground. And so, yeah, I think if we're going to make a difference on abortion, if we're going to actually convert people from being pro-choice to pro-life, then we've got to change the way some of us, not all of us, but the way some of us engage people that are on the other side. I see a lot of people saying things on Facebook and YouTube and in person that it's like no one's going to take from that and suddenly think, oh wow, maybe I'm wrong about this. No, they're just like angry with you, or they think you're weird, or you're like, you know, you're all caps all the time. Why are you in all caps? No one does that anymore. That's like shouting. Don't shout at people. Ask them some questions and have a dialogue with them. And that's kind of what I mean when I think when Greg Koukl says diplomacy instead of D-Day. Those are some of the things that I think of.
Well, that's fantastic. Josh, this has been great. And probably a ton more questions, but we're going to, well, Josh, folks, I want to thank you. I really do want to thank you guys for watching. And Josh, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
On
Chaplain Chat.
All right.
I got it.